Today, we'll discuss on the topic mother's milk versus formulated milk. First, we'll see the introduction. The nutritional link between the mother and the child continues even after birth. The newborn baby depends for some period solely on milk for its sustenance. Milk is a product of evolution designed specifically for the nutrition of infants' mammals. Milks of different mammals differ from each other in the proportion of different nutrients present. Human milk is universally regarded as the ideal food for the nutrition of human infants during the early months. Nutritionists are of the opinion that there is no food equivalent to mother's milk for a newborn baby. Yet, owing to various causes, an infant may not derive adequate supplies of human milk, and feeding with animal milk has to be resorted to. The use of processed milk food in the feeding of the infant is also on the increase in different parts of the world. Infant formulas have gotten better at matching the ingredients and their proportions to that of human milk. For the satisfactory of infants with formulated milk substitute, knowledge of nutritional requirements and the digestive capacity of the infants are necessary. As feeding is considered an integral part of the development of the child, we will discuss the various advantages and disadvantages of mother's milk and formulated milk. First, we'll see mother's milk. Mother's milk or breast milk is the milk produced by the breast or mammary glands of a human female to feed a child. Milk is the primary source of nutrition for newborn before they are able to eat and digest other foods. Under the influence of hormones, prolactin and oxytocin, women produce milk after childbirth to feed the baby. When the baby sucks its mother's breast, a hormone called oxytocin commands the milk to flow from the alveoli through the ducts, that is, milk canals, into the sacs called milk pools behind the areola and then into the baby mouth. The initial milk produced is referred to as colostrum, which is high in immunoglobulin A, which causes the gastrointestinal tract. This helps to protect the newborn until its own immune is functioning properly. Colostrum is a thin, yellowish fluid that is secreted during the first few days after delivery. It is not mature milk, but a substance richer in protein and in vitamin A than the milk secreted later. Colostrum will gradually change to become mature milk. In the first 3 to 4 days, it will appear thin and watery and will taste very sweet. Later, milk will be thicker and creamier. Human milk quenches the baby's thirst and hunger and provides the protein, sugar, minerals, and antibodies that the baby needs. Infant formula is a manufactured food designed and marketed for feeding to babies and infants under 12 months of age, usually prepared for bottle feeding or cup feeding. The United States Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act defines infant formula as a food which purports to be or is represented for special dietary use solely as a food for infants by reason of its simulation of human milk or its suitability as a complete or partial substitute for human milk. The composition of infant formula is designed to be roughly based on human mother's milk at approximately 1 to 3 months postpartum. However, there are significant differences in the nutrient content of this product. The most commonly used infant formulas contain purified cow's milk with whey and casein as a protein source, a blend of vegetable oils as fat source, lactose as carbohydrate source, a vitamin-mineral mix, and other ingredients depending on the manufacturer. In addition, there are infant formulas using soybean as a protein source in place of cow's milk, and formulas using protein hydrolyzed into its component amino acid for infants who are allergic to other protein. Our 2001 World Health Organization report found that infant formulas prepared in accordance with applicable Codex Alimentarius standard was a safe complementary food and a suitable breast milk substitute. Now, we'll see the composition of mother's milk. Breast milk contains complex protein, lipids, carbohydrates, and other biologically active components. The composition changes over a single feed as well as over the period of lactation. Human milk contains 0.8% to 0.9% protein, 4.5% fat, 7.1% carbohydrates, and 0.2% ash or minerals. Carbohydrates are mainly lactose. The fat fraction contains specific triglycerides of palmitic and oleic acid. It is rich in brand-building omega-3 fats, that is, DHA or the docosahexaenoic acid. The lipids are becinic acid and conjugated linoleic acid, accounting for up to 6% of the human milk fat. The principal proteins are alpha-lactalbumin, lactoferrin, immunoglobulin A, lysozyme, and serum albumin. In an acidic environment such as the stomach, alpha-lactalbumin unfolds into different forms and binds oleic acid to form a complex called hamlet that kills tumor cells. This is thought to contribute to the production of breastfed babies against cancer. Non-protein nitrogen compounds making up 25% of milk's nitrogen include urea, uric acid, creatine, creatinine, amino acids, and nucleotides. Mother milk has been shown to supply endocannabinoids, that is, the natural neurotransmitters that cannabis stimulates. Breast milk contains a unique type of sugar called human milk oligosaccharides, which are not present in infant formula. Human milk oligosaccharides are not digested by the infant but helps to mix up the intestinal flora. Next, we'll see the composition of the infant formulas. Most pre-modified formulas use cow's milk as a base. For specific purpose such as allergy to milk or inborn error of specific metabolism, special formulas have been developed. The formulas for babies are modified to stimulate human milk, and one or more of these modifications are usually included. Protein content is usually lowered. The protein is treated to produce a fine, flocculent, easily digested curd. Plain cow's milk is unsuited for infants because of its high casein content and low whey content. So, cow's milk used for formula undergoes processing to be made into infant formula. This includes steps to make protein more easily digestible and alter the whey to casein protein balance to one closer to human milk. The dairy fat is replaced totally or partially, and vegetable oils such as corn oil are substituted to increase the linoleic acid content. Lactose or other carbohydrate is added. Calcium level is reduced by dilution. Sodium level is reduced by dialyzing milk with resin. Vitamin A, D, and ascorbic acid are usually added. Iron may also be added. Nucleotides are compounds found naturally in human milk. They are involved in critical metabolic processes such as energy metabolism and enzymatic reaction. Also, as the building blocks of deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid, They are essential for normal body functions. Compared to human milk, cow's milk has lower level of the nucleotides uridine, inosine, and cytidine. Therefore, several companies that produce infant formula have added nucleotides to their infant formulas. Emulsifiers and stabilizers are added to prevent the separation of the oil from the water in the infant formula. Commonly used emulsifiers are monoglycerides, diglycerides, and gums. We'll see the advantages of mother's milk. The nutritional advantages of breast milk are certainly numerous. The amino acid in breast milk, the building block of proteins, are well balanced for the human baby, as are the sugars and fats. The baby's intestinal tract is base added in its digestion by the vitamins, enzymes, and minerals found in the breast milk. Breast milk also contains infection-fighting antibodies from the mother, and breastfed babies are believed to be at a reduced risk for many acute and chronic infections early in life. Cholesterol promotes brain growth and provides the building blocks of hormones, vitamin D, and intestinal bile. Breast milk may also help protect the baby from some health problems such as eczema, asthma, and diabetes. Breast milk is the food least likely to cause allergic reaction. It is inexpensive and readily available at any hours of the day or night. Nursing helps most women to lose weight after delivery, as 500 calories or more are used by breastfeeding each day. Women who breastfeed also have a reduced risk for postpartum bleeding and a reduced risk for ovarian and breast cancer in future. Breastfeeding facilitates bonding between mother and baby. Now, let's see the advantage of the formula milk. Since breastfeeding may not work for everyone, there is a healthy alternative in infant formula. Formula has benefits that include nutritional value and convenience level. Infant formula contains the nutrients necessary for a baby to thrive and grow. Commercially prepared formula brands meet nutritional requirements and safety standards. Some even have added vitamins and nutrients such as iron that can help prevent anemia. According to healthy children, some types of formula contains a probiotic called Bifidobacterium lactis, which can help to reduce diarrhea, improve colic, and lower the risk of food allergies. Formula can be fed anywhere at any time, making it convenient choice for working mothers who are not able to pump enough breast milk for the day. Both parents and all caregivers can give bottles or formula. Infant formula is also a beneficial alternative for mothers who wish to nurse but cannot due to pain, medical issues, or a baby's poor sucking reflex. Formula also digests slower than breast milk, so a formula-fed baby needs to eat less often than a breastfed baby. We'll see the disadvantages of breastfeeding and formula feeding. Disadvantage for breastfeeding occurs when things are not going well. For example, if there is an inadequate supply of breast milk or an inefficient suck reflex in the baby. Some working women may not be able to breastfeed their child if they are away from home for very long hours. Breastfed babies need to feed more often than does the formula feeding. Whatever the mother eats, it is passing on to the babies, so certain dietary restrictions have to be maintained. Lastly, mother is the only person that can feed the babies. The disadvantage of formula are primarily their expense. While breast milk is free, formula can be quite costly. The lack of maternal infection, lack of antibodies that are in breast milk which protect the baby against infection, and the fact that no formula can exactly duplicate the ideal composition of breast milk. Infant formulas take 2 more times longer for a baby to digest than breast milk, which can affect the feeding frequency and bowel movements of the infant. Formula-fed babies may also have the risk of developing an allergy to a particular formula. When a baby develops an allergy to formula, He or she may have symptoms that include irritability, crying after feedings, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, or a skin rash. Another disadvantage is the availability of many choices of infant formula, and the baby may not tolerate the parent's first choice. Now, we'll look at the health risks associated with formula feeding and not breastfeeding. Studies have shown that infants who do not breastfeed and who consume formula is associated with increased incidence of infectious morbidity, as well as elevated risks of childhood obesity, type 1 and 2 diabetes, leukemia, and sudden infant death syndrome. For mothers, failure to breastfeed is associated with increased incidence of premenopausal breast cancer, ovarian cancer, retained gestational weight gain, type 2 diabetes, myocardial infarction, and the metabolic syndrome. Now, we'll look at the conclusion. It can be concluded that milk is the sole nutrient for the infant for the first few months right after birth. Human milk is regarded as an ideal food for infants, but owing to certain difficulties, formula milk has substituted mother's milk in some people. Breastfeeding and bottle feeding both have their advantages and disadvantages. Whichever one choose should be based on whatever is best for them, not what other people say. Since every family is different and no two people's situations are the same, it is important to choose the best option for them. But owing to certain limitations in the use of formula milk in regards to health of the mother and baby, it is of the opinion that breastfeeding is the right choice.